Welcome back to another episode of Water from the Rock. I'm one half your host, Marquis.
I'm other half Free Mail.
We are back with another episode.
Back.
Cool content for you today or whatever. Before I even say another thing, I get in the habit of cutting my man Free off. So Free,
You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us.
Here with us.
Much appreciated.
Definitely appreciate that. Appreciate you guys for the love, support, the likes, follows, or whatever. Get the business out of the way real quick. Shout out to Sense by Design candles. Great place to check out. SenseByDesign.com. Christina, we've said it in many videos. Links to everything will be in the description of the video.
Absolutely, absolutely.
As you can see, it is springtime, so we are going with a spring chilled, tasty beverage with a little twist on it
usually
today.
on your wine, and I'm on my bourbon, but we keeping it real light, 90 calories, 2.6.
We're keeping it old today. If you're drinking the 90 calorie beer.
We mature. Some people will say this is not even alcoholic. This is like,
it works with a twist of lime. I mean, not lime, lemon today. Yeah. So shout out
Coronas
to Corona
and
for
lemon.
This. Good vibes. So what are we talking about today, Free?
Topic today. As we mature as men, as fathers, as parents, we listen to our selective music.
Sure.
Marquis and I have grown up as hip hop enthusiasts.
So
the majority, that's not the only music we listen to, but that's the bread and butter, as you would say.
We grew up with it.
However, we have young children.
We do.
So how does that impact our sponges of these little people that we take care of?
Music versatility.
Right, music versus. So before we jump into how it affects them, let's talk about how music, how we became involved, I guess, fell in love, quote unquote, with hip hop and where it started. And with me, I have a brother that's 7 years older than me. So growing up, NWA, Ghetto Boys, Spice One, E40, on and on and on, all explicit lyrics.
Explicit, yeah.
Very.
And at a crazy time too, when hip hop was basically, it was like America versus hip hop.
Yeah, exactly. And
that was a crazy time.
At that time,
Tupac, NWA, Dre,
Dr. Dre, Snoop.
And Snoop's Doggy Style.
Yeah, the whole album cover. And at that time, I'm 8. I'm young. But I realized what not to say. My house.
Here we go.
I realized what not to say. But that music, I connected with it because some of the stuff was going on in my environment. Not all, by any means, not all.
Sure.
But it felt like I can relate to it more than anything else that may have been playing on the radio at that time.
Looked like us, felt like us.
Felt like us.
Dressed like us, the vibes. Right. Yeah.
I had a hat.
Culturally.
I had a hat with the that just said, my father like, why you have the hat? And who bought that? It was the marijuana leaf.
From the Chronic album.
And it had blunt on the bottom. Well, I don't know why I had, but hey.
They let you wear it?
It was a part. My mom, I don't think my mom had a problem with it. But I just don't remember wearing it too long.
My mom worked for the sheriff department. She'd have slapped the shit out of me if I had that on.
Yeah. But that it was just the culture with the starter jackets, the hats.
Yeah.
The shoes.
The 40 below Timbs, the Uptowns.
Yeah. And
the
it was
high top Uptowns. You can't wear those no more.
Different culture here.
Yeah. See, that's a good point as well, because like hip hop culturally was diverse based on regions. So you had like West Coast had a vibe, East Coast had a vibe, Midwest, you guys had a vibe, and everything that was going down there. So you guys, what was that like? That's a good place to start, actually. What was the vibe like? Because we had our own identity over here. Was Timberlands, bubble coats. I don't know if you remember Triple Fat Goose.
Oh, absolutely. I had Triple Fat Goose.
Yeah, like them.
I had a long that went down like to my ankle.
Sherlin coats, things of that nature. And West Coast had their identities: Converses, khakis, Dickies, things of that nature. What was the Midwest vibe?
The beauty about being in the middle, you get a best of both worlds. So
almost like a melting pot.
Wearing black tees with the Raider hat.
Was it the long tees? The oversized long ones?
It eventually got to that point, but being as a kid at 9, 8 for me, I say in the early 90s,
Mhm.
because my brother graduated from high school in 1992.
Okay.
And so early 90s, it was more of the starter jackets. That
Yeah.
was huge. Like
Starter
people would
jackets.
get you get ran up on to get your starter jacket taken.
Oh, yeah. Well, and they had so many varieties. You had the zip up, you had the pullover with the
Yeah, the
3/4
pull
zip
yeah.
and the little pocket in the
Yeah.
front with the
Yep.
pouch.
I had a couple of those. My brother had a 49ers. I had a Dolphins.
I had a
And
Panthers.
I had my name spray painted on the back. Shout out to my cousin.
Oh, wow.
Name on the back, had my name on the front. Yeah. So it's
Midwest vibes.
yeah, Midwest vibes. But then going in high school,
Mhm.
adapting with the Tims and you call them Uptowns, Air
Mhm.
Force Ones
Yeah.
that we had. So we like Boo Wear, Averex.
Did y'all have the 40
know.
belows?
No.
Midwest yet?
Mm-mm,
Okay.
mm-mm.
That was those.
That's
those,
too
those,
East Coast.
those,
That's too East
yeah,
Coast.
those are
That's
huge.
too East Coast.
Huge.
That's from like Juice, like
Mhm.
Tupac.
Yeah,
and Big.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
So those are the things. Black. Shout out to the homie Darrell DB. Just talk to him.
Yeah.
We'll have him on soon. Got them fresh butters on.
Yeah,
Free.
yeah. First thing he noticed.
Yeah.
I was the first. My claim to fame in high school. I was the first one in my high school with some black Tims. Maybe in 1998.
Rebel. The Rebel.
Black Tims got them from Champs. But anyway,
98 was a good year.
so with this hip hop culture comes music, and obviously this music is explicit and it's near and dear to our hearts. But as we mentioned earlier, we have these small little people that are
Families,
sponges.
children.
So how do we handle playing the music that we love near to dear to our heart, where we have the Young Jeezys, we have the Jay-Z, we have T.I., Locks,
Yeah.
DMX. It goes on and on
Dipsets.
and on, and that's a part of the music where they're expressing themselves using the language that they feel in their heart. Which it doesn't have a problem to me, but you have a 7, 8-year-old, 10-year-old. I have like
Can't even fathom what they're saying. They're just parrots. They're sponges, and they're picking it up and dumping it.
Yeah, they don't realize that you may play a song. They talking about slamming, pimping hoes and slamming Cadillac doors.
Yeah,
they not okay. That's not something that you do. That's a part of that person's experience. But no one set me down and say, "Hey, this is a song."
Yeah.
I kind of just got it, but I intentionally not. I don't play some of that music. But anyway, I've talked enough. How do you navigate? When you want to play your favorite song.
Sure.
When you want to ride out, and you've mentioned in other episodes with ASAP Ferg.
Yeah.
Check in with me.
Yeah, Sophia.
Do your
That's
job.
when that was the moment. That was the moment that I realized I needed to switch this up and stop playing, because you do it so unconsciously, and Sophia would be in the back with her iPad or just out the window exploring or what have you, and it came on and it's like and the beat drops and he's ride with the mob, and she's singing ride with the mob, humdulillah.
I have no idea what it means.
Looking at me, I'm like, where'd you get that from? She's like, I know this song, Daddy.
Yeah.
She was like, and then she's reading. She's like, Ferg, ASAPA, SAP, Ferg, and I'm like, I'm impressed, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, I got to switch this up, because you do it unconsciously, not knowing or paying attention to the fact that they're paying attention to everything. And so for me, again, so one of the things that I've learned, like once I figured that out, I immediately created a playlist that goes on when we get in the car, and it's a Sophia playlist. So it's all the Disney stuff, what's the Moana? Every song on the island.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. So all of that.
Yep.
Taylor Swift, welcome to New York. Yeah. So I've got a playlist now that goes on whenever she's in the car. And it's a bittersweet moment, because like it gets annoying because Sophia sings every song loudly. Right. And it's like, man, can we just like listen and not sing today? But what I found is creating a playlist or alternatives for her because, like you said, they're sponges. They pick up on everything, and Sophia remembers. She remembers everything, and she'll go back and say, "Well, what that one song?" And Casanova, he's got one, "Knock Knock," and the intros, guys like, "Who is it?" And there's this big gunshot, like, boom, who is
Oh,
it?
wow.
Yeah, and he's like, "It's me," and Sophia's like, "It's me."
Wow.
And I'm like,
I haven't heard that one.
yeah, no, we can't do that one or what have you. So it changes everything. And so the way that this topic came about, I was sharing with Free. We were going through our topics and ideas for today, and I thought to myself, I was like, what if we do something about music in the car with kids? Because Sophia and I were sitting down, we're watching the show, and she's looks up at the TV, and I'm thinking she's not paying attention because she's got the iPad sitting there next to me. She looks up. Apparently, she's been paying attention, and she says, "What in the blue hell?" And I'm like, "What did you just say?" She said, "What in the blue hell? Did you see that?"
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, I see that. But furthermore, like, where did that come from? And so it's those moments where you think, okay, I've got to edit these things or whatever, because these kids, I mean, would you agree that these kids are smarter than us at the age they are versus when we were there, when we were that age?
I feel more advanced.
Feel that they are more advanced or we were more
advanced? I think it's layers. I think that at that age, at the age of the era now, they're more advanced as far as technology, catching on to things.
Sure.
I think that we were more independent.
Yeah. There was more, because in the sense of the go out the house, go outside. And
Right.
you leave
And
in the morning
out.
and you come back when the street lights come on, so to speak.
You're figuring it out quicker.
Whereas we wouldn't do that now.
Right. No, absolutely.
we wouldn't do that. If they're outside, we're outside.
But let me ask you this. So you said, Sophia said, what the blue hell?
Mm-hmm.
What, and I know the answer, but I'm going to ask it because you said it.
Sure.
What, would you have said that as a kid sitting down with your parents?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Absolutely. Man, listen, so to the point of like our love for hip hop and how hip hop has molded us, my love from hip hop, I got an ass whooping.
Yeah.
Because I went to the public market and I bought the Above the Rim soundtrack.
Above the Rim. Ooh, that's
Above
a good
the Rim.
one. That's a
Warren
good
G. Regulators.
Yeah, Mount Up.
Mount Up. I wanted it for that song.
Night.
And I asked for it. They told me no, but I ended up sneaking out on the shopping spree with the uncle. Like, I'm just going to go over here. The bootleggers had the tapes. $5. $5 caused me a lot of pain. And I just wanted that because I wanted to be in school and look cool. Like, look what I got. The cassette with the little tape and the strip. Did you put the little piece of paper under it to record over, to record on the radio?
Absolutely.
Those vibes, like, yeah. It was a time. And that's how, like, hip hop, how influential and inspiring and I guess infectious hip hop was at the time, especially for us. And back then, music videos were huge. So you had like the MTV Spring Breaks and BET, all these different things that were like playing the music video, so you can get the visuals, the Rap City, the Basement, the Freestyle Fridays, all that. Yeah. So the people come in, you can put the visuals with it and see them, and it was all sorts of things or what have you. So like one of the things you mentioned earlier, like if you think about the time, how explicit things were then, and you look at it now as an adult or whatever, like Snoop, and shout out to Snoop. Snoop is like the most versatile. I would say Snoop is Black culture's Martha Stewart. Ironically, he has like this connection with her and the shows and things of that nature.
He's the most popular hip hop person
globally,
in the world.
Globally.
Ever.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Ever.
Snoop was at the Olympics and it was the best segments. People were looking forward to seeing him in the USA jackets, going to commercials and coming back. So, but for him to have, excelled Mount Everest, if you will, to this current place and time, but he dropped an album called Doggy Style. Like, think about that.
Classic album.
You know what I mean? And us, like, as an adult, as parents now or whatever, ain't no way we'd be letting our kids listen to no shit like that. Doggy Style. And then Murder Was the Case.
Doggy Style.
Like, what was that? 92, 93?
I'm going to say, I'm looking it up, sorry.
I would say 93, 94.
I should know this, but I don't.
I'm going to go with 94.
1993.
93? Okay.
November.
Because there was a close time where, Tupac was gone in 95.
First
Biggie
week,
was 96.
it sold 800 copies. The first week.
800 copies. Yeah. But when it
1993. Wow.
went on to be one of the greatest albums of hip hop. So
But album is in 1993, bro. I was so young. You were
I was 8
young,
years old.
like, so you were 8. I probably was
11.
a couple of years, yeah, something like that. We shouldn't have been listening. Huh?
Not at all. Not at all.
But
Because again, think if Mason walks in the kitchen with his headphones on, he's like
What you
sipping
listening to?
on gin and juice.
lay back.
Think about that right now. His 7-year-old
No.
ass walks in the kitchen
No,
with his headphones,
sir.
sipping on gin and juice.
But I knew
you would lose it.
I knew not to it's interesting. I knew not to say anything like that in front of my mom.
Oh, 1,000%.
I know she didn't play like that.
1,000%.
I knew she didn't play. But
Well, because you was also in church every Sunday, I'm sure.
and Sunday school, yep.
Yeah, so it's the same here. We were in church, and we were in church all day on Sunday.
Let it be first Sunday. You might leave at 2 or 3.
What? Yeah. Services, right? Got to be back to church at 4.
Get that communion.
Man, did you guys use saltine crackers for communion?
Mm-hmm. Break it up and had the like cranberry juice. Yep.
I was so confused when I went to boot camp and they had the circular wax melts or the melts.
Yeah. That's like the Catholics.
I was like, this is not the body of Christ.
It need the saltine. But similar to you, I create playlists. So now, since I have 3, Mason and James, they have their own playlist.
Okay.
MJ, she has her own playlist.
Gotcha.
So I intentionally try to introduce them to R&B, hip hop. Ludacris Move, bitch, get out.
Yeah.
That is one of the most popular songs in our house, but it's the edited version.
Okay.
So they've never heard the real version.
The fill-ins, yeah.
So they think it's Move. Get out the way.
Yeah.
But I just try to. Boys are different. MJ is 10, going on 11. She knows not to say certain words, but the boys navigate and they try to purposely, just say things that
they're what we call habitual line steppers. They just get right up to it and see.
But I want
see how far they can push it.
Right, exactly. And I was similar to you with Sophia. I'm making MJ, because at one point in time it was just MJ, making her these playlists with all the Disney songs. And I'm like, man, I want her to know music that I listen to.
Yeah.
So I started playing that, and I played that Mary J. Blige.
Real Love.
I can't remember which one it was.
Okay, I was guessing.
It might have been Happy. But anyway, I played it so much, and then after a couple months, I play it. She knew the song. I'm like, oh, this is a proud moment.
Yeah.
My baby know MJB.
Yeah.
I think that
I love it.
I know some parents don't think that they should censor their kids with music. I have friends that said that, but I don't. Like I said, I don't want my boys going around. I listen to a lot of Southern rap, UGK, 8Ball, MJG, talking about pimping hoes and slamming Cadillac. I don't want them to say that until they understand that this is music. This is a form of entertainment.
Yeah.
This is an artist painting the picture of things that they've dealt with.
Yeah.
In life.
Yeah, no, and I've been fortunate as well, because Sophia is she has a huge affinity for like 80s soft rock. So I have a very, very diverse like music palette. I could be, and Berta says it all the time. Like, so I'm like, I'll have a playlist and we'll go from Daft Punk to, Dr. Dre to, Evanescence, it's all over the place, R&B, everything or what have you, right? And so Sophia had, what do we have? Take on Me. Yeah, take on me, take on me. Like that one. She's got a In a Dream, My Love. Like, so she loves all of those 80s soft rock, like jam, so to speak, or whatever. So she's like, all of those things are like on her playlist.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's all of that stuff or whatever. Daft Punk. She loves Daft Punk. Like, just going. Gaga. She loves some Lady Gaga. Like, she's got like a little Swiftie bone as well. Yeah, Abracadabra is a new one. She's like,
Mm.
ah, rap, rap, rap. Yeah, so
But that says a lot. Think about, did you know anything about any kind of that genre of music when you were her age? Were
none of
you
that.
exposed?
The only time I was ever exposed to that music was when we were in like Burlington or shopping store. That was like the
Yeah.
elevator music that was playing over
Yeah.
over the speaker in the store or whatever. That was the only time we was ever really exposed to that because we didn't really have soft rock. It was the
Oh, no.
you know the Central City radio station that was
Mhm.
essentially playing in the
That
car.
played all the
You know what I mean?
top
Every Sunday
R&B
morning they
people.
ran gospel from 8 in the morning until 12 when everybody was supposed to be in church, essentially.
Ooh, so you mentioned that's a good. So now I know my kids. I can't speak for your daughter, but they don't know any gospel songs.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Oh no,
nah.
Berta has Sophia in
Okay.
there. Remember, I think I was a couple episodes ago. I told you I said respectfully. Actually, I was like, "Did you see CC Winans recently?"
Mhm.
That's how I saw her. Berta was listening. Sophia, they're over there just like they're praising, and I looked. I was like, "Is that CC Winans?"
I think that you said that we had someone on. It was Smoke.
Yeah,
I don't
probably.
think he
Yeah,
didn't put down what you put together.
Yeah, he didn't put it together. He didn't put it
I
together.
haven't seen.
Smoke was on the runaway train.
Yeah.
My God.
What the guy in Shaft say, money longer than train smoke.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, dude, you know what I'm talking about?
Peoples?
Yeah,
Peoples Hernandez?
money longer than train smoke.
I am the motherfucking king snake. Peoples Hernandez. Yeah, that was the guy. That was the guy. Good movie. Good movie,
Yeah.
by the way.
With the smoke reference,
smoke,
baby.
My money longer than train smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is Egyptian cotton.
Egyptian cotton, motherfucker. 223.
Yeah. He played
You know,
that role.
I didn't realize that
He's
was
a
Jeffrey
brother.
Wright. That's Jeffrey Wright.
He's a brother.
That's what I was just about to say. Black as you and I.
Yes. He played the hell out that
Played
role.
I didn't know. I had to go back and when I was, you know what's so crazy? I love him and everything that he's made, like currently. And we went back, we were watching Shaft, Bird and I, we do like these like flashback movie days. And I was looking, I was like, that's Jeffrey Wright.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, he played a Dominican.
Mm-hmm. Better than a Dominican. He played it to a T.
I'm trying to, he would have blended right in
This
down
is
there
Egyptian
right now.
cotton.
Egyptian cotton. So yeah, no, that's good stuff. But yeah, so with Sophia, she definitely has an eclectic vibe, and she, you know, like, so that R&B, she's definitely getting into R&B. So, you know, when they're not in the weekend, she stays up a little late. And sometimes I'll just, again, like R&B or something like that'll come out. You remember the Quiet Storm? Did y'all have a Quiet Storm on the radio?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I thought you were talking
Late
about
night.
Mobb Deep.
No.
I'm back when my mind went. But yeah, the Quiet Storm,
You were
that
committed
smooth,
to hip hop.
right? Just that smooth,
So there was always a commercial that was like, "Welcome into the Quiet Storm.
Mm-hmm.
The time is now 10 o'clock. Parents, do you know where your children are?"
Mm-hmm.
That was like the intro, and then it was just get into like, and they always started every Quiet Storm with Secret Garden.
Good DeBarge and
With Barry White and
my mom's favorite song. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the one. But yeah, so music and hip hop have definitely influenced and impacted both of our lives. Clearly, I think it would say, I think it would be safe to say, and speaking for both of us, the cultural impact and influence, kind of rooted.
Oh, absolutely.
And us, right? I mean, for everything from the swagger, the way we dress, the influences, and you know, the lingo, and all of those things or whatever. Like, I would almost venture to say, like, hip hop had a percentage and influence on raising us, even with our parents or whatever. Like, so our parents taught us and raised us in the home or whatever. But as far as like leaving the home or whatever, hip hop was like the Bible or the manual and anthem to survival outside the doors of the home, if you will.
Absolutely. And I see, you know, with MJ being older, her embracing some of that, like she's still, you know, not totally like how I was at 10.
Yeah.
But, you know, she'll run the house, stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
Stop the cap. The younger generation, you know, words and music. I can see her dabbling into one thing that I was talking to with a guy like two years ago or whatever. And he was like, I'm trying to introduce my son because he loved hip hop just as much as us. I'm trying to introduce my son in hip hop, and he's just not. It's not his thing. That'll break my heart, bro.
Oh man, yeah, that would break my heart
He
as
was like,
well.
we go in the car. All right, I'm gonna play this, whatever. Oh, can we turn on, whatever.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, that would probably hurt. That would definitely hurt me too. If especially if you like, what? Oh my God, you don't know? Hold on a second. Let me
Because
tell you about
right,
this
you
song.
expecting,
I could tell you where I was at when this came out. You
but
know?
then I guess at the same time, it's a growing opportunity. Like,
Hmm.
what are you into?
Yeah.
Like, okay, so let me listen. You know what I'm saying?
Let me get familiar with
Right.
what you're
And
into
I'm gonna
culturally.
show you what I'm.
Because they're gonna grow and have their vibes or whatever. And right now Taylor Swift is on like a rocket ship run, and she's what they're seeing or whatever. But also, I think things are just different based on the way like we saw Disney movies. We had every damn Disney movie collection, the VHS tapes with the big plastic box, looked like books. But there weren't really music to those the way they are now. Like these Disney movies that are coming out right now, or whatever, they're borderline musicals all the way through.
Oh yeah,
Moana,
it's
Coco.
very intentional.
Back then they had one song, like the Beauty and the Beast had the Beauty and the Beast
Yeah,
song.
I can rattle off 5
Pocahontas had
Moana
the
songs off
Wolf
the top of my
crying
head.
to the blue corn moon or
Yeah.
whatever. They had like one song essentially, right? But now it's like, Little Mermaid, Under the Sea. That was it. Now they've like Maui's got like a EP on the movie, essentially.
So do you think that creating or having that playlist for your daughter instead of just hitting play and getting in the car and just playing whatever, you think that has that been beneficial?
It absolutely has been beneficial because one of the things that I noticed is she's more attentive to other things, because in the morning when dropping her off at school, I'm usually listening to like the Elvis Duran morning show, phone pranks and things of that nature or whatever. So that's where I do my fishing for the current music, because it's more of like a pop station and kid friendly music or whatever, and current music or whatever. So I knew nothing about like Taylor's "Welcome to New York." Yes, man. Like Sophia screams that shit in the car. And I just caught that. She's like, "Daddy, can you put this on my list?" And so she'll get in the car right now and DJ requests. Like, I want to hear Taylor Swift. Then I want to hear like, so it's a full on, it's a full on thing. So it's definitely been beneficial. And like even we're out now in the store, whatever, she sees like, "Is that Taylor? That's Taylor Swift." I'm
It's
like,
Swifty.
Well, maybe.
Tap into
maybe.
it. MJ likes Taylor Swift too.
Yeah, maybe. I see, the thing is, I don't know what like hip hop now isn't what it was. And like our guys, like the greats are dead. Jay ain't putting out no music. Jeezy ain't putting out no music. So it's not like we can like push them like, "Hey, I want to," and realistically, they can't listen to any of that music. Even though the music that we,
That's
enjoyed or whatever.
all
like,
those names you said.
Here, let me
now,
go back. You need to listen to 1-900 Hustle.
right, it's considered old school.
Yeah.
Like you get in the car with
Are we
a
considered old school now?
Yeah, absolutely. You get in the car with a young man, like I got in the car with my
now.
nephew. He's like NBA young boy, G Herbo.
Yeah, nah, that's wild. You listen to Young Boy, some of the stuff he be
Yeah,
saying?
oh, he's crazy.
I thought you think Snoop was bad. Listen,
I can't name a song called Kodak Black. I can't name a line or verse or anything.
man, I just listened. I was listening to one, and just the beat is just intimidating or whatever. Like he made you like you be riding and lock the door while you you lock the door while you in the car. I had a red young boy bugging. He be bugging.
Let's say my son comes home and they, at school, I listen to this at school. They probably won't where they go to school. But if they
not at all. Not
if they were, they come home with, "I heard this, what, can I listen to it?" I'm like, I don't have an answer to that. I don't know if I would allow my son right now to listen to NBA Young. I know the answer. I would not.
Right.
But I would appreciate him wanting to listen to hip hop.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he doesn't, in the environment and what he's been, he won't they won't understand that this is just music.
Yeah.
NBA young boy not going out, shooting and robbing and killing folk. Like, he's not doing that.
No.
This is music.
That might have been his influences at one point in time.
Right.
To get
but
there,
he's not doing that.
No.
Just
he's selling out tens of thousands of people's stadiums. Like,
yeah. But I knew that due to my brother just embracing hip hop and, kind of letting me know, like, this is music. Like, this not.
Yeah, this is
Ice-
not reality.
Ice
Kind of like
Cube-
social media. Social media
Ice
isn't
Cube
real.
didn't really have a triple double, and today was a good day.
He definitely did.
It was a song.
But he did know Kim,
Yeah.
and he still knows Kim.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy. He might have been talking about Kim in that thing.
Shout out to you, Cube.
That's
disrespect.
crazy.
He had a FOY
That's
looking
crazy.
for us. Better chill.
Yeah.
But yeah. So and in that and wrapping this up, one of the things we were out yesterday, and Sophia's like, "Can you turn that up?" Sure, turn it up. And she's psycho freak. Like, yeah. She's like, okay, yeah, turn it up.
Psycho Freak. What's that?
That's a song, apparently. And Berta's like, how do you know? She was like, oh, this is one of my favorite songs. And Berta turns it up, and I'm looking at the song, and I'm thinking to myself, immediately it catches my attention. I read the title, Psycho Freak. This is your favorite song? Okay. And then it's like, I forget how it goes, like, feeling like a psycho in my head. And I'm listening to the lyrics. I'm like, I was like, that's not your favorite song anymore.
But kids will say, that's my best friend. Like,
Yeah,
you just met the person
and they got
yesterday.
a favorite color every different day. Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
But still, with that, even though it's
Sophia's inquisitive about what these words mean now.
Even though the song is clean of cursing, it still have some wild music.
It's telling a story.
Yeah.
He came over, beat it up. I was so wet.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I think Lady
No. That's not your favorite song no more.
Lady Gaga has a song, a very popular song.
Gaga got a bunch of them.
I can't remember. But
Gaga, she's
dang, and my kids love it. And it's
Gaga?
Yeah, it's a song, man. It came last summer. We listened to it every single day. And I'm listening to the song like
she's got a couple bangers.
It's talking about like God and blood, and I'm like, what the hell? But
yeah, we'll figure it out as soon as we.
I figure, it's better than freaking NBA YoungBoy.
I'm trying to tell you. And that's how you know we old, because you look at like, what kind of name is that? NBA YoungBoy. Like what is that? Never Broke Again, Young Boy. Like, okay, and they got all these like acronyms and the YNs. You know what that means? But like it's just wild when you think about it. And again, so we're in that, like, now I know at this age and having a kid, now I know what our parents felt like when they were like, turn that off. Yeah. What do you listen to?
That garbage.
When you listen to what they're doing now, and everything sounds like they're mumbling. And like the homie Joe Crack said, he was just panda. Yeah. Next thing over, he was choking Yanla on the plane. Wow. But yeah, man. So
tell us, how do you all censor inappropriate music from your kids? Do you create playlists? You just don't play music at all? I went to a phase where I did instrumentals. So I have a playlist with just instrumentals.
Okay.
But the kids thought that was boring. Like, we want to hear words. So
yeah.
What do you all do? What do you all recommend? Me, myself. And I want my kids to know Black music intentionally. So I have a playlist called When My Daddy and When Mommy and Daddy Were Together. And that's all old school.
So you going back to like Peaches and Cream?
Oh
era.
Man, Earth, Wind and Fire. Luther.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Oh, you're talking about like when Mommy and Daddy were made?
Yeah.
Era.
No, when
Earth, Wind and Fire?
When they were together.
Oh,
when my parents were together, this is the type of music that, we played it around the house a lot, and they pick up like, songs like Houdini, Friends, How Many of Us Have Them, Slick Rick, things like that, where I want you all to know this intentionally. So when you know where you came from.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sophia does know Slick Rick.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, not long. That's she'll listen
there
to the whole. She listens to. It's like a book.
Yeah.
That song is literally like a book.
Storytelling.
Yeah.
Share with us your water for censoring inappropriate music, or if you don't, what's your view? How do you think about it?
And give us some alternatives as well. Drop some alternatives in the comments, and give us some ideas. We'd love to share with guests or whatever. And if maybe this is something we can come back and talk about alternatives as far as other genres. Maybe this is not even an issue for some people because they just don't listen to it. I'm sure there are those out there as well. But for us, I know for us, again, music has definitely been the backbone of our lives.
Hip hop is what we talked about, but from an alternative, like rock culture. There's some explicit, like Green Day and Metallica. They have explicit lyrics.
Oh yeah,
it's not just just hip hop. So it that's what we know. From an explicit standpoint, Parental Advisory.
There's a reason. There was a reason it was on there, and I mean, if you wanted to equate, even in the rock sense or whatever, Marilyn Manson had a run. Had a run, and even before him, Ozzy Osbourne biting bats' heads off on stage, wilding. LSD was a hell of a drug.
Right. Before Rick James.
So yeah, I guess on that note, we'll go ahead and get up out of here. I'm gonna have your host Marquis.
I'm other half Free Mail.
End it with a dap. My man. Have a good week, Free.
Ooh, I gotta use the bathroom like a mother.
Okay, don't worry. Yeah. We're the Waterfront Rock Podcast. We'll catch you guys next time. Right, you get like Christian. Shout out to you.